Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Elijah from Breck Latney On Air. Today, we have our guest, a genre-bending duo from LA, bananawho. Guys, introduce yourselves.
Hey, what's up? We're bananawho.
So we're from Los Angeles. Lately we've been into dance music, anything danceable. We're both dancers, so we love to make that kind of stuff. We're a couple, we're married. We've been making music for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, that's pretty much. And yeah, if you're wondering, I'm Kadua, and this is Lyric.
Cool. Interesting. How did you guys actually start music, and how did you come up with such a fantastic name, such a different name for a music group, for sure?
Well, I mean, we started making music because that's kind of how we started talking. We were, we had mutual friends and everything, and then when we realized that we both made music, we connected that way, and eventually realized that we should start doing a project together. But it happened really organically. We both had solo projects that we were doing, and we realized that they weren't as good as us as a team, the name, it was kind of like a joke, wasn't it?
Yeah, the name it comes from a knock-knock joke that we both told as kids. So just what I always tell people is it's something that sounds lighthearted. So when we're making our music and doing whatever we're doing, it's something that just reminds us to have fun and not take it too seriously.
Yeah.
In the process. So it's even just introducing ourselves as bananawho every time, it just forces us to have that lighthearted, fun experience.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting from it. So that's pretty cool. So, you were individually making music before you guys got together. So you had a long history of music?
Yeah, I didn't have as long of a time. I started playing guitar in high school. Did we lose you?
Yep.
There you go.
But yeah, I started playing guitar in high school and writing a little bit. I didn't really start diving into thinking about releasing anything or creating until I met Kadua, and we just started working together. I thought I was going to release my own stuff, but then it just made more sense as a band.
Interesting.
But he's been doing it forever.
Yeah, I'm a typical story. I've been singing since I was 3, and I grew up singing in church.
I swear the best singers come from prior singing in church. Like every time, I hear someone who grew up in the church and was musical somehow in the church, that has that influence, has the best musical abilities.
You can't teach that.
Yeah, you really can't. It's something you have to grow up with. So I
totally
know what you're talking about.
You can't teach soul. You know what I mean? So
right.
So cool. So you guys both sing, and what is your roles? How do you guys contribute to the music creating process?
So usually every song we've written, we kind of have a different process. So we've had people ask us that recently, and I feel like we're developing how we work. Mm-hmm. But sometimes we start out with a concept, so an idea of what we want to talk about, what we want to write about, and then he will go and make the beat, or start some type of dummy skeleton beat, and then we'll go from there. And he will usually from there he'll start mumbling over it, so just kind of coming up with melodies, sometimes even structuring out the entire song in just kind of a mumble, beatbox singing type of thing. And usually after I hear that, I start with lyrics, because as soon as I hear him start coming up with melodies, that's where I get inspired, and it's way easier for me to come up with something from there. But yeah, and then as far as writing, it goes from there. Sometimes it's quick, and sometimes it takes days.
Yeah, we argue over lyrics a lot. You know?
Yeah, cool. So like, how does that dynamic work for you guys? Being that you're a married couple and you guys are also pursuing this music career, how do you guys balance that?
You know, I think the main thing is that we identify as artists so much that it's just, we don't look at it as like a separate thing. It's a part of our relationship. Like, it's just who we are. You know, we are artists. We happen to have a project that we've decided to work on and make our lives like our goal is to just travel the world making music together and enjoying our lives together, you know.
Cool.
So yeah.
So
we didn't even go on as many dates in the beginning. We would stay home and work on music.
Yeah.
Honestly,
that's
dope that you guys have created that chemistry over music, because I feel like it'll definitely show in the music itself. So that being said, so you're the producer. What DAW do you use and why?
I've messed around with a lot. My favorite DAWs that I use are Ableton and Reason. And they have different places in my heart. Ableton, I use Ableton Live because it's quick.
Yeah.
It's quick, and I'm insanely fast on it. If I was challenged, I might be able to make a track blind. I know that program so well. And then Reason is the first thing that I ever touched that was like, you know, that had any dope sounds when I was probably about 18 years old.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm nostalgic about it, and anything that I can ooze out of Reason, I will. Because I just love using it. It just makes me happy.
Okay.
To know that DAW that I used as a kid, I still use now.
Yeah. Okay, that's dope. So, do you like 100% like you make you produce all the tracks pretty much yourself? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, so you guys can literally just make the tracks, put vocals on it, like cut it, mix it, release it, like, so that's dope. You said that you guys were both dancers. Do you feel that like being a dancer affects your music at all?
Yeah.
100%.
For sure. I mean,
how so?
For us, I mean, if we hear something that we're creating and it makes us want to move, like, that's the goal. If we can't feel a groove, then it probably won't come out.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I've had these long, deep conversations at like 3:00 in the morning with friends about what came first, music or dance, you know? And so like, to me, it really is one of those things where it's like, if your music isn't danceable, then what did you make it for? Like, it's such an important thing.
Yeah, there's different music for, you know, different moods. I definitely agree with that statement.
Yeah.
But that's cool though, that you guys have a history of dancing, and you know what I mean. You know when a song is groovy because you're like, okay, you've already had this amount of time practicing like dancing and all these other different songs, so you got that beat, you got the rhythm in it, and that I feel like that is super important. So
yeah,
so cool. Coming up in today's music climate, I feel like, you know, everyone is like on TikTok, on Instagram, everyone is like kind of promoting what makes them like special. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, let's say I'm a rapper and like what I'm really good at is doing freestyle. So I'm going to go on TikTok and I do a lot of freestyles. What do you guys use to promote yourselves in today's music climate?
That's a good question. I mean, we have a really unique mix of what we do. Honestly, our biggest promotion is probably our kid.
Yeah.
Who she's in every song that we make.
Yeah.
So she has a little like vocal sample. She's 2. So we have a sample of her probably in every song, every song but one. but when we post something on Instagram and she's in it, it's almost double the amount of interaction.
Nobody cares about us.
Hey,
Nobody cares about us.
You can't cheat like that. That's not.
No, but she's so musical too, and I think it's cool that watching her be inspired by what we do. Honestly, that's been our ticket.
Yeah.
A lot of the times is just having her do what she does and having us as a family too. I think, like you said, not a lot of people do what we're doing as a couple and as a family.
Yeah.
And so people seeing that and seeing us doing music full time with a kid is different. And so people just see that, and then they see us, even the look of us together and our family, it stands out in a cool way, and people like it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So like, what do you guys do outside of music? Are you guys actually employed in the music industry or doing something music outside of your own artistry?
I produce for other artists. So I'll produce for other artists. I get hired to sing quite a bit. So I mean, we just we make music. We write for other artists. We make music. That's all we do.
Wow.
Nonstop.
And that's a blessing to like be able to do like what you're passionate for. So kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
So were you guys like born and raised in LA?
No, I'm from Greenville, Illinois, kind of near St. Louis. And then you're from same.
Yeah, I'm actually, I was born in St. Louis, but then my father was in the Marine Corps and he got stationed at Camp Pendleton. So I eventually ended up in Vista, which is like a suburb near San Diego.
Yeah.
So I just tell people I grew up in San Diego, but in case somebody's watching this and they know me, they're like, Camp San Diego. I just had to set the record straight.
That's the military baby thing going on. And because my dad was also in the Army and I was born in San Antonio, but I was only there for like 2 years, you know what I mean? So like,
right.
So cool. I mean, like, so you guys moved to LA. Do you feel like being an emerging artist in LA, number one, do you feel like it's competitive, and do you feel like it has an influence in your music?
It's definitely competitive. Mm-hmm. I think for us, we were here for about 3 years, working on music and dance. And then we actually took some time away. We went to Cincinnati for like 6 months and worked on some projects and stayed with people. And coming back to LA after taking a break, we've really, we are in the music industry, but we've kind of stepped away from that mentality, and we've been more focused on just making what we love.
Yeah.
So it's still competitive in LA, but it doesn't feel like we're a part of that. Just feels like now we're finally doing what we want to do in LA. So hopefully we would be able to influence people at some point, even new artists coming out, and just being able to mentally step away from the scene out here and be able to just make what we want. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Okay, so you're not really shooting to compete with the music industry. You guys are comfortable with making the music that you guys love in your own pocket. You know what I mean? You guys aren't really chasing a record deal. You guys are really just chasing the love for music. So am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We wouldn't turn down an opportunity, but I think for us, we have things like that we hold ourselves to a standard, so if we get somebody offering us something, which would be great, to be able to go on tour or possibly be signed, it would just have to be the right people, the right connections,
Yeah.
Something that felt right to us.
For sure. And I think, like, especially today, people can make it as an independent artist. Like, You know what I mean?
For
Just
sure.
Yeah.
building a fan base on social media is, it's tangible. You know what I mean? You really don't need. I'm sure, like, you need money. But you don't necessarily need money from a major label to be successful as an artist. So I really do like to hear that from like people, because like I think I said this in a couple other interviews. I like when people just like go after like the organic music that they like to make. You know what I mean? Like then I'm like in for a treat when it comes to hearing something different. You know what I mean? Because when people keep shooting for the for the major labels, they want to just make a lot of money. Everything sounds the same. Why? Because they're trying to replicate something that makes money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So kudos to you guys. That being said, who do you guys make music for?
I feel like for me, automatically I'm like, for the kids. Like that's like, but I feel like it's deeper than that, because I was thinking about like this a while ago. It's not just kids. It's anybody that's young at heart. Anybody that actually, and what I mean by that is not just youthful, but anybody that actually has it in their mind that they can learn something new, that they can experience something new, because that's the beauty of being a child.
Yeah.
Like that's the beauty of having youth on your side. You can constantly grow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So I feel like, our music, if you listen to us, you'll notice that like we just keep flipping it and we keep giving people things that like we can't even figure out who we sound like. So we want people to listen to it and be ready and expecting something brand new that will excite them.
Yeah.
And that's who I make music for.
Yeah. I would say also for ourselves, if we love it, it's easy for us to get people on board.
True.
So yeah, and also I think partly for the dance community, because every time we make something, we picture dancers. not even like backup dancers on stage, just people vibing out to what we make. So yeah, I would say that too, but mostly firstly for us, I would say if we love it, then it's easy to get people to love it.
There's nothing better than finishing. Yeah.
So define genre bending duo. What type of genres are you guys like kind of crossing over?
What genres do we bend?
So okay, let's look at it. So the last two releases that we had, the first one, a song called Home Alone, it started off with me going, man, I love UK garage and I've never made a track like that. I'm gonna try. So like I started like jumping into that and like seeing what I could do with it. And then after that, it turned into like, I swear, this almost hard style, weird, wonky thing. I can't describe what genre it is. That's kind of the point. Like,
okay.
Really, and then I'm rapping over it. It just turned into a really, really odd mix. And then this new song starts off in a completely different vein than it ends. So it starts off as like this, how would you even describe the first part of that, of Little Boy?
It has like some dance house feel to it.
But at the beginning? At the very beginning? Not at all.
Yeah. I don't know. It's electronic.
Yeah. It's poppy. Like in the beginning, I feel like you just feel like you're listening to some pop song, but it doesn't make sense because it doesn't sound like Ariana Grande. Like it doesn't match that.
Yeah.
You know?
One thing I think that we do is we kind of play with different like dance, electronic, house vibes, but we structure our songs like pop songs.
Right.
So the way we structure the verses and the hooks and even the writing,
try to keep that structure.
It kind of falls more into a pop category, but with the music and everything combined, and even some of the melody choices, I feel like that's where we're like, on Spotify trying to figure out like, well, what playlist would we be on, and we'd rather somebody just tell us.
Just tell us.
That's a good way to look at it. So you guys released this new track, Little Boy. I'm going to get ready to listen to it. Can you guys break down this track for me before I do?
Go for it.
Oh, you want me? Okay. So it's this song was actually written because of a conversation that we had about personifying depression. And Lyra had personified it and thought about it like as if it were like this little weak, like a little boy, you know, that I feel like I'm gonna butcher this. You say it. You the one that thought it.
Yeah. So I just had this picture in my head of like being challenged by like a 3-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Like a kid coming up to you and trying to fight, but they're so tiny, it's kind of ridiculous that they could even think they could take you on. So we just wrote this song about depression and lack of motivation, as if we're talking to it, like it's a small child, like kind of like you can't really do anything, right? Like you can't really, like you're not that strong. So that's the concept of the song, is kind of talking down to the feelings, and then also even we have a music video too. In that concept, we kind of address not just getting rid of the feeling, but learning to live with it and learning that you're in control of your actions and your emotions while you feel that way.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you guys so much for coming on bananawho. It was a great interview, but I can't wait to check out you guys' song. Do you guys have any aspiring words for anybody trying to do what you guys are doing?
Be your freaking self. Don't explain yourself. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I almost had the same thing. Be yourself. Do what you love. Don't let other people tell you to do something different.
Y'all heard it. Cool. Thanks for coming on. You guys have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all heard the interview. That was bananawho. And this is their track, Little Boy. Let me know what you guys think. Let's do it.
I could typically you're on the
All right, first off, that was amazing. That was very, very, very different. That was like the definition of feel good music. It started off just like they said, like a pop record, and it had like the EDM house type of thing going on, and I don't know, like the contrast between how she was singing and when he came in, it was like pop and funk kind of, and then like it just went to like rap, and it was just like it was a breath of fresh air to hear someone just doing something different like that. You know what I mean? Like that was, to me, I was like, oh crap. Like I was like singing it a little bit. I don't think you. This duo is very, very talented, and they have so much potential. Like, shoot, man, I'm definitely gonna have to download that one. Yeah, I've been kind of in a slump for a while now, and just to hear, something different like that pop off, I was impressed. But there you guys have it. That was bananawho from LA, a genre bending duo. And let me tell you, that was definitely a good mix of everything good. But hey, thanks for tuning in. I'm Elijah from Breck Latney. You guys have a good night.